So you want to start dropshipping, but the problem is that you're running into something I call information overload, where you don't know where to start. You're hearing a million different strategies, and you just want to know exactly what to do and what actually works. Well, I'm about to show you how to start dropshipping day by day. And if you commit just 1 hour a day for the next 7 days, you will have a fully running dropshipping business that is ready to make sales 7 days from now. But here's the catch. If you don't follow a step-by-step system like this, you'll end up like 90% of the people who try dropshipping, jumping between different tutorials, wasting months building the wrong foundation, and never actually making a single sale. And it's very important that you implement all the steps that I'm about to show you, because all it takes is just one missing link and the whole system will collapse. Now, I do recommend watching this video 2 times because of that reason. First time to get clarity, and second time to implement. Because from personal experience, that's how I've gotten the best results in my life. So take your time, watch this video from start to finish, and come back tomorrow to start putting this guide into action. Let's stop wasting time and dive straight in. Day 1 is all about getting your foundation set up, your actual store. Now, there are a lot of platforms out there, but I'm gonna show you the fastest way to get a professional, conversion optimized store up and running in under 20 minutes. Now, here's the thing. Most people struggle with store creation because they're using generic platforms that just weren't built for dropshipping, where you end up spending weeks trying to make everything work together, dealing with technical issues, and your store ends up looking amateur. That's exactly why my students use the AI Store Builder, because it's specifically designed for dropshipping, as it comes with all the essential apps pre-installed, and most importantly, it's beginner friendly. The best part is it's completely free, and you can follow along using the link down in my description. So with that said, let me show you how to build your store step by step. Now, after clicking the link, this is the first page that you'll see. So from here, just go ahead and click on Build My Free Store. Now, once you go ahead and create an account, you'll be asked to pick a niche for your store. Now, you can choose whichever one that you would like to start selling in, because you can find winning products for all of them. But for this guide, we're gonna go ahead and choose electronics and gadgets. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and choose a banner for our store. Now, I think all of these look pretty good, so this really just comes down to your personal preference. And of course, you can change it or add in your own banner later on. I mean, this is your store, so you can customize this any way that you want. But for this example, we'll go with the top left option. And heads up, this is definitely where most beginners get stuck. One wrong click here and your store is just not gonna be linked properly. So make sure to follow me step by step with what I'm showing you. So next up, this AI Store Builder is gonna ask you to create a Shopify account. So go ahead and click on Access Shopify, and then it's gonna go ahead and direct you to this page. And listen, Shopify typically costs $39 a month, but by using the AI Store Builder from the link below this video, you'll actually get an exclusive discount of $1 for your first 3 months. So make sure you don't miss out on those savings. So with that said, go ahead and enter in your email and then click on Start Free Trial. Now, Shopify is gonna present you with a bunch of different questions, but honestly, you can just skip all of these for now. Now, moving on, you're gonna be directed to choose a plan. And I would advise that you go ahead and get the basic at first, just because it's a lot simpler to get the hang of. And again, you can always upgrade later on. From there, just go ahead and enter in your details. And then once you reach the admin page, just copy the URL, paste it into the AI Store Builder, and then click Save, then Done. So to finalize linking Shopify with the Store Builder, you're gonna have to download the app. This is essentially like a plugin that will only be downloaded to your Shopify store. So let's go ahead and click on Install. And then from here, you're good to go. Now with the setup out the way, you can actually start customizing your store. And then the AI will start building your store without you having to lift a single finger. Mind you, all of this is for 100% free. So next up, it's gonna ask you to connect your store to AutoDS. So just go ahead and make an account, select Shopify as your selling channel, and then choose Starter 500, as this is the ideal plan that we'll be using throughout this guide. Now, this is a very important step that you cannot skip, since we are gonna be using AutoDS later to find winning products. Now, once you're back in Shopify, you should have the preferences page open. Just go ahead and make sure to turn off password protection from here, and then go ahead and click on Save. Then just go ahead and navigate back to the Store Builder, and then click on Done. Make sure you are paying close attention here, because if your store password is protected, no one can see your store at all. This one simple setting, this could cost you your first few sales, so make sure it's checked off. Now from here, go ahead and click on Access Shopify to publish store, as we will be publishing this on Shopify. Now you'll once again be directed to the preferences page, and just go ahead and make sure that the password protection is turned off. Then you just wanna go back to the Store Builder and hit Done. So with that, I mean, your store is basically up and running. All you have to do from here is just customize it to fit your brand, but we're gonna get into that a little bit later, since you do need a product before designing your store around it. But for now, just come back over here to the Store Builder and click Done. And the next step will be to choose a domain name. So just go ahead and choose whichever name that you think suits best, type it in, followed by .store, click Save, and then click Continue. Now from here, it's gonna ask you to create a .store account. You can actually just skip right past these instructions, click on connect now, and then once you're on this page, choose connect existing domain. Then just go ahead and type in the domain name that you chose in the previous step. Click next, and make sure to save these instructions for later. But for now, go back to the store builder, click done, and now you should be seeing my free training video next. Now I highly suggest that you check this one out for extra information, because I went into even more detail on what to do when your store is ready. And this is honestly one of the best beginner guides that I've ever made. So definitely check that out by clicking on take your course. Now, once the page is open, bookmark it for later, then go to Shopify, choose online store from the left side menu. And now here, this is where you can start customizing your store later on. And I'm gonna go ahead and skip this part for now, since you do need a product to build your store around. But once we are done with that, we will come back to the design on day 3. Now, you should spend the rest of day 1 on making a Meta Business Suite account, which only requires you to sign up, click on the drop-down menu, choose Create a Business Portfolio, enter in your details, and then you're done. Now your store is built, but let me be blunt. No one cares unless you're selling something that they actually want. That's why day 2, this is the make or break moment, where we're gonna be diving deep into finding a product that people just can't scroll past. This is probably the most important day because your product determines everything else. The secret is just following trends that are already proven to work. Let me show you how it's done. Now the first thing you wanna do is just open up AutoDS and add in the 1,000 to 10,000 like filter. This is gonna show you products that have been getting a lot of engagement on platforms like TikTok and Facebook. Next, you wanna scroll down until you find a product that catches your eye. I found this Sink Caddy, for example, and look at the engagement graph. If it's on the upper trend like this, then that's a great sign that your product has potential. Now, once you have validated that it has potential, you wanna go ahead and see the ad itself. So you can go ahead and click on the show on TikTok button or Facebook, and this is gonna take you to the original video where you can see how well it's really performing. Now from here, what you wanna do is go ahead and click on the comments and search for recent engagement. And as you can see, this video has comments from 21 hours ago, 35 minutes ago, and so on and so forth. This right here, this is what separates a good product from a great one, because you don't wanna just look at likes. I mean, check if people are actually commenting on it today. That's how you know it's gonna be trending. And always think, am I here reinventing the wheel? As that's one of the #1 ways to fail as a dropshipper. You need to see things that are working in real time and allow what's working in the market to work for you. So once you've validated all that information, the next step is to open up your Facebook ad library and actually just search for the product. Over here, you can find different websites that are selling it, and you're just gonna wanna go ahead and choose one, click on it, and then it's gonna actually take you to their website. Once you make it on their landing page, the first thing that you wanna look at is whether the product actually matches what you saw on TikTok or Facebook, so you're not accidentally choosing an alternative. And then following that, you wanna go ahead and check in on the price. You essentially wanna compare the prices that you wanna sell the product to all the different websites that are currently selling the product, just to make sure that it's not being sold for much cheaper or higher, and that you're in the sweet spot in the market. So for example, over here it costs $31.99, which is the ideal price range for this product. Anything under 30 bucks, this would have been worrisome and probably put you in a position where you're not meeting your margins. So now that you have the product link, the ad link, as well as the engagement information from TikTok, you can go to AliExpress and then look for the listing. So for example, I found this listing, which is the exact product that was promoted on TikTok. And as you can see, it has over 5,000 plus units sold, which is another important metric to be looking at. Now, besides the sold amount, you do want to look at the reviews and the overall ratings as well. Ideally, it should have a 4 to 4.5 plus star overall rating, which signals that the product is reliable and that it has good quality behind it. Another thing that you can do for extra assurance is opening up SimilarWeb and then checking out the trending graph. And as you can see, I mean, this product hasn't really been trending in recent weeks, which is a red flag that I definitely look out for. But listen, this is only one competitor. You need to look through the entire market and see if any of them have upward trending data on SimilarWeb, because that's gonna be the person that you wanna base yourself off of. And quick bonus check that most beginners forget. You wanna always plug your product into Google Trends. And if it's been hot for like 5 years, you know you got long-term potential, not just a short-term trend. Now, I actually went ahead and I repeated the previous steps a couple of times, and I found this cool fan hat that we'll be using moving forward. So let's go ahead and open up Google Trends, type our product in, hit search, and then change the period to 5 years. And look at this. I mean, this shows you how much a product has been interacted with, which is a good indicator of how evergreen it is. And to me, I mean, this graph seems like a green light. As you can see, this fan hat has absolutely exploded in popularity recently, which shows that this is a great product to get in right now. Now, this was the specific step-by-step process to find winners, but in order to actually implement these steps yourself, you need to know the main criteria that every winning product should follow. So first off, it needs to have high engagement on social media. It has to solve a real problem, and it should have a wow factor that makes people stop scrolling. If you find a product that checks all these boxes, there's a high likelihood that you have a winning product ready to go. And here's where most people get overwhelmed. You see, they end up finding a winning product, but then spend hours manually importing it, finding suppliers, and managing inventory. And by the time that they're done, that trend has then already passed for that product. That's the exact problem that AutoDS solves, because it handles your entire product research and fulfillment process automatically. It finds trending products, monitors suppliers for stock and price changes, and even fulfills your orders automatically. Right now, they're also offering a 30-day trial for just $1, only for my viewers specifically. So look guys, I got you. So instead of spending hours on manual tasks, just focus on what actually makes money, finding winning products and scaling ads. So quick update, you found a product with potential, but you cannot celebrate just yet, because if your store does not look trustworthy, you're gonna end up still losing the sale in seconds. That's why in day 3, I'm gonna show you exactly how to design a product page that turns clicks into real conversions. And if you're stuck choosing a product, don't stress, I've got you covered. I drop a new video every single month with 10 winning dropshipping products that are trending right now in the market. So just go ahead and check out the description or my channel, find the latest video I dropped, and you'll always have fresh ideas to work with. Day 3 is all about making your store look professional and trustworthy. And most beginners, they're gonna screw this up because they stuff their product page with random information and absolutely no structure. So let me go ahead and show you exactly how to lay this out like a real brand. So first off, I'm gonna show you how to import your product from AutoDS to Shopify. And I did just find this really cool outdoor solar rechargeable hat. So we're gonna go ahead and be using this for this part. Now, go ahead and search for the product that you're planning to sell on AutoDS. And what you're gonna wanna do is find the one with the most reasonable price. Like this one right here that is $6.55. And one thing to note is just how many different variants that it has. So for example, I mean, this hat right here, it has a bunch. And when you're doing this, you don't want there to be way too many different variations, but a little variety is actually great. And you can just go ahead and delete the rest. Also, you wanna always make sure that you're looking at the shipping price because you're gonna be adding it to the total price of cost of goods later. Same exact thing when it comes to the shipping times. As you can see, I mean, this one is 10 to 14 days, which is all right, but you never want something to be like 20, 30 days plus. That will never work for your audience. Now that you validated those two things, scroll down and look at the photos of your product. You're gonna be importing these on your product page later. And now let's just go ahead and import the product to your store. So for this, go ahead and click on Import to Drafts, then go to Drafts from the left side menu. Then click on Import again, and then the product will automatically load straight into your Shopify store. All right, and as you can see, AutoDS automatically filled out the product listing. But now we're gonna wanna actually create the product page. So here we have a bunch of images imported as well as all the different variants. What we're gonna wanna do now is just go to your online store, choose Create Templates, type in the name that you're gonna wanna add, and then click on Create Template. Now that we have this template created, what we can do is just go ahead and start editing. First, change the product category, and then scroll down a little bit more until you reach this section. Then go ahead and select them all, click on Bulk Edit, as we're gonna be setting the price for all the different variants. For that, we're gonna have to calculate our total price. To do that, just go back to the initial product page on AutoDS to start calculating the price based off of the item cost and the shipping cost, as these are gonna be what our main metrics here are gonna be based off of. Now just go ahead and open up your calculator, add up the shipping and item cost, which mine is $19.06, then multiply it by 2.5, which is going to be $47.65. Now this number represents the minimum that I can sell this product for. Just be able to protect a profit margin of anywhere between 20 and 30% profit. So with that, the higher that you go, let's say you 3x it instead of 2.5, that's just gonna be the more profit that you're gonna make. Now that we got the total number of $47.65, we're just gonna go ahead and make it $47.99 for simplicity and psychology purposes. Now, after you have this price, what you wanna go ahead and do is then search this product again into the market, just to make sure that when you're looking at it on Google or on Facebook or wherever you're looking at it, that you're seeing your product in the pricing that it should be. Not too high, not too low, right in that sweet spot in the market. Now, after solidifying that, we're gonna go ahead and change our compare price. Now, this compare price is basically the original price that our customers think the product was sold for before they got this great discount after shopping through you. Now, I just typically 2x what the selling price is. So because the selling price is $47.99, I'll just make the compare price $95.98. Once you have the finalized compare at price, go ahead and input it, click on save, and then you're done. Now, once you come back to the product listing and refresh it, you can see that the price has been updated for all the variants. You can also see all the changes that we made earlier that are also updated. And so far, we already have a pretty good product page and it only took us a couple minutes. That bulky text that we had earlier is also deleted, but now we want to go ahead and add it back in and make it look even better than before. And my favorite way to do that is through the image with text box. So to insert that, go to the left side menu, click on add section, and then search for the image with text option. Now I'm gonna be adding 3 of these just because all the essential information, it's not gonna just fit in a single box. But once those are added, just go ahead and open up ChatGPT or DeepSeek, whichever AI that you prefer. And then we're essentially just gonna go ahead and ask it to rewrite the bulky text into bite-sized, value-packed sales points. Now paste that bulky text into your chat box and write the prompt that I just wrote. I have a Shopify store and I need this information put into 9 short bullet points from my product page. Now, since we do have 3 images with text boxes, ideally, we would want to have 3 bullet points per section. So as you can see, DeepSeek has summarized them into 9 value-packed bullet points, which we would now want to go ahead and import directly into our product page. And of course, you can always write these parts yourself or edit it later, but this is the easiest way to get short, impactful copywriting to your product page, even if you don't have that much experience. Now for the images, we should have a few in stock for the ones that we imported. So let's go ahead and see what we have. And really, you can use any of these stock images. You can also see what your competitors have and import those as well, as long as they don't have any watermarking or branding on them. Now you can see that we have all the images on one side, but just to switch it up a little, we can go ahead and select this middle one, and on the right side where it says desktop image placement, go ahead and choose the image second option. Then just go ahead and select the next image, maybe even add a GIF if you have it, and then add them to your page. Now ideally, these sections are best for showing off your product features, because these are gonna be your main selling points. And as you can see, these sections, they're all still missing a title. So let's head back over here to DeepSeek, and I'm gonna ask it to generate me taglines for each one of these examples. Now from here, we'll just go ahead and select the ones that we like, and then copy, paste them right back into your page. Now that we have our product, our price, some copywriting and design, we're actually still missing one crucial part, which is the frequently asked questions section. So to go ahead and get that added, just go ahead and select add section again, then collapsible content, and then finally rename the section to FAQ. And now when it comes to actually coming up with these questions and these answers, again, we're just gonna go ahead and use AI to our advantage here. So let's head back over here to the AI chat. Ask it to generate 5 to 7 questions and answers, and then go ahead and copy and paste these directly into our store. Now, if you do need more rows, you can just go ahead and click on the plus icon from the left side menu to insert even more questions. And this is very useful for more complicated and feature heavy products, but make sure to never just overdo it. Keep it as short and value packed as possible. All right, so now that we have all this information added in, let's rearrange the page a little bit. We want to go ahead and bring the feature section a little bit higher. Ideally, just right under the actual listing itself, and then remove the label buttons to make sure that the page looks nice and clean. Next up, go ahead and just remove all the unneeded sections that were included in the template, and you're pretty much done. All right, so let's go ahead and check out the final version. So to do this, go ahead and check your page out in the preview mode to make sure that everything is now officially set. Now, when you get to creating your own product page, it is important to remember that the key elements of a converting product page are social proof, clear benefits, and urgency. You want customers to feel like they're gonna completely miss out if they don't buy it right then and there. These features that I created are doing the heavy lifting for us. Now at this point, your store is gonna look great, but no traffic means no sales. That's why on day 4, I'll walk you through the ad strategy that gets real people to your site and how to launch with 0 experience. And that's why day 4 is all about creating the ads that are gonna drive traffic to your store. Now you got 2 options here. The slow path, which is creating the content yourself, and the fast path, which I will explain in just a minute. But before we talk about who that's for, let's break down what makes an ad actually work. So here's the truth. If your ad doesn't grab attention in 3 seconds, you've already lost. And these are the 3 ad killers to avoid at all costs. Number 1 is having no hook. If you don't stop their scroll immediately, they will never see your offer. Number 2 is leading with no clarity. Viewers need to understand what the product does and understand that fast. Number 3 is having no social proof. Without real people using it, your product is just not gonna feel trustworthy. So the real key is just creating multiple variations. The goal isn't just to make an ad, it's to test different versions and figure out which one actually converts. But listen, before we continue, I wanna make you an offer that could completely change your life. I'm currently accepting 1 person for a 100% free one-on-one coaching call with myself and my team, where we will review your store, your products, and your entire ad strategy. Where on these calls, I've helped people identify the exact bottlenecks preventing them from making sales, finding winning products that they would have never discovered on their own, and created action plans that led to their first profitable months, no matter their experience level. Only 1 person gets picked each time, and I get hundreds of comments, so if you're serious, Comment store down below with one thing that stops you from building out your store tomorrow. These spots fill up fast, so do not wait on this one. But for now, let's go ahead and talk about that fast path. Because for some of you, this is gonna actually save you weeks of trial and error. See, even though you now know what makes a great ad, actually creating one that converts, this is a whole different game. I mean, people spend years learning how to write, edit, and structure ads that convert. And unless you're already like some skilled creative, you could end up wasting weeks producing something that never actually performs. That's why I strongly recommend starting out with the fast method, where you're sitting there letting the pros who've already done the testing handle all the hard work. Pros who have created thousands of ads, know what genuinely works in the market to do the thing that a lot of us don't have the skill set to do, putting you in the position to focus on what matters the most, which is scaling your business, not just guessing your way through creatives. So if your mindset is locked in on getting that fast track to success, then you can find the best e-commerce video creators in the market with the link right below this video. So now that your first ad is ready, here's the hidden trap that most people overlook. Even with a winning product and a great ad, if you don't have the capital to scale, you will stall out. Now moving on, day 5 is crucial, but often overlooked. Making sure that you have the funding to scale when your ads start working. Here's the reality. When you find a winning product, you need to scale fast before competitors catch on. But most beginners, they end up not having enough capital to scale properly. The problem is that you're limited by your own cash flow. You might find a winning product that's generating 3x return on ad spend, but you can only spend $100 per day because that's all the cash that you have. Meanwhile, competitors with bigger budgets swoop in and dominate the entire market while you're then stuck with scraps. That's where Revenue comes in. They provide funding based off of your store's performance, so you can scale with other people's money instead of your own. So imagine being able to spend $1,000 per day on a winning product instead of being stuck at $100 because of cash flow. And the best part is that you only pay them back from your profits, so there's no risk to your personal finances. Now that you've secured funding, it is time to flip the switch. We're going from planning to profit mode, starting now, where on day 6, we launch your very first test campaign and find the creative that actually converts. Now day 6, this is where we start spending money and gathering data. And this is the most exciting part because you're about to see if all your hard work pays off. And that's where the MetaSuite account that we made on day 1, this is where it's gonna come into play. Because now we're gonna set up our creative testing campaign with it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right into it. So what I'm doing here is setting up a creative testing campaign. And I'm using an ABO or ad set budget optimization structure. And I personally prefer this method over CBO, which stands for campaign budget optimization, as this allows you to get a little bit more control. So first thing you wanna do is just head over here to the ads manager. Make sure your categories are turned off and A/B testing is turned off as well. Then go ahead and switch your campaign budget settings as we're gonna be using an ABO campaign. Now, scroll down to the ad set level and make sure that your website is properly selected. And we're gonna go ahead and set the optimization for the maximum number of conversions. From here, make sure that your data is correctly set. That means that the pixel is active and the conversion event is set to purchase, like usual. And we're only gonna be spending $10 on each ad set in this campaign, and we will be starting this at midnight tonight. Now next, go ahead and just scroll down to location targeting and choose the top 5 e-commerce countries: United States, United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. Now let's go ahead and change the age range to 21 plus. Make sure all the genders are selected, and you can go ahead and leave the rest of the settings as they are. Now right here under languages, go ahead and set it to English all, or just English United States if you don't want to include UK English. Now once that's done, we're gonna scroll down to the ad level, and now we're gonna go ahead and start creating our ads. So go ahead and just click on create ad, choose single image or video, and then turn off multi-advertiser ads. Now let's go ahead and link our product page. So just go over to your website, click on shop now, and then go ahead and select your product. Copy the product URL and then paste it right here into the destination field in your ad. After that's done, we're gonna go ahead and upload our creative. Now here, you can either choose an image or a video. Let's go ahead and get this thing uploaded. Head into your media library, browse the content, and then go ahead and choose the ads that you already created from day 4. Next, go ahead and upload your creative. Now, since we are gonna be uploading multiple pieces of content, I do wanna just say having a mix of both, this is gonna be great for diverse marketing. Then once your media is added, scroll down and write your primary text, add in a headline, a description, and then go ahead and select the call to action as shop now. And mind you, I know a lot of you guys watching right now are not copywriters, and neither am I. And like we've all been doing throughout this video, we just need to use our resources to our advantage. So those same competitors that you saw earlier, go look at their description, go look at their primary headline, go look at their text, put it in ChatGPT, and just make a better version of what is already working in the market. After you have all that finished and inputted, what we wanna do now is update our URL parameters, ad name, campaign name, and ad set name. Also, you wanna make sure to switch the attribution setting to none. Now at this point, we have now officially just made our first ad. So what we wanna do from here is go back to the ad set level and duplicate the ad set 4 times. So now we will have a total of 5 different ad sets. This is what's going to allow us to test 5 different variations of ads all against each other to figure out which one's gonna drive the highest, best converting traffic to our website. Now, when you are testing all these different creatives, nothing is going to change besides the ad itself. That means the targeting, the age, the language, the countries, none of that's gonna be changing at all. So now that this is duplicated, what we wanna do is just go to each one of these ad levels, delete the current one, and then add in the new piece of media. So let's say that you wanna use a video this time. Just go ahead and click add media, choose a video from your library, click next, and then skip and continue. Now, just like before, we're gonna add in our primary text, keep the shop now call to action, and make sure all creative enhancements are turned on. And then we just wanna go ahead and double check that the URL parameters are still there too. Now that we have finished the first and the second ad, from here, we're just gonna repeat this process for the remaining 3 ad sets. And finally, just to stay organized, I like to label them as like video 1, video 2, video 3, still image, and then carousel. That way, when I am reviewing this performance, I already know exactly which creative is which and which ones outperform the others. And that's it. This is a full setup for a creative testing campaign. And let me just tell you, this is one of the biggest cheat codes in dropshipping in 2025. Is just by understanding which piece of content is going to appeal to your audience the most. And if you could take anything from this section, it's the fact that content is king and data is queen. And remember that the way that you will win with dropshipping is not just through a winning product or a great store design, but truthfully, the type of traffic that you're driving from your creative and how cheap you can get them to your store. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna let this campaign run for the full next day. And whenever you're looking at these metrics, you just wanna figure out which one is driving the cheapest traffic, and if it's getting purchases, that is another great sign. So after you've collected this data and you let these ads run for at least a day and you found your winner, now it is time to officially start scaling it. So that's where day 7 comes into play. And this is where things get serious, as I'm gonna be showing you how to put your winning ad in front of millions of people and start generating real profit. So day 7, this is where everything comes together. You found your winning creative. Now we scale it to cold audiences. Let me go ahead and show you how to get it done. First, head into your ads manager and look for your creative testing campaign, where mine is named the Solar Fan Creative Test. Click the checkbox to select it, and then let's go ahead and look at the metrics. So in this test, we ran about 5 videos and a couple of images. So let's go ahead and break down the key performance metrics. First, we wanna go ahead and check out the CPC, or cost per click. And here, we're basically looking for it to be under $1. This campaign only spent about $10, and the cost per click came out low, so that's a really strong signal. Next, we wanna head over here to click-through rate. And the base foundation that we wanna be seeing here is anything above 2.5%. As you can see, we're seeing 6.5 to 7.38%, which is definitely excellent, especially considering that the cost per clicks were as low as 7 cents. Now to the next metric, which is CPMs, or cost per 1,000 impressions. The benchmark here is right around like $12 to $17, and as you can see, we're sitting at $5, which is definitely ideal and a great sign that the ad is hitting the right people. But more important than any of these metrics is seeing back-end activity. Seeing real activity happening on your website, like add to carts, checkouts, and purchases. And as you can see, we saw checkouts initiated, which is one of the best signs of getting great interest on this product. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this best performing ad, the best version, which in this case, this is version 1. And we're gonna use this as the winning creative for our cold audience campaign. And here's how we're gonna do this. So go ahead and start by clicking duplicate, keep the original settings, and create a new campaign. Now once this new campaign is created, let's go ahead and clean up your view by closing any extra tabs. Now click in and edit the Solar Fan ad. Now from here, since we already just found the winning ad, then the only big thing that we're changing is the ad set level. Starting off with detailed targeting. Detailed targeting is what allows you to start testing towards different interest groups that Facebook automatically categorizes people in based off of the actions that they're taking on Facebook. Let's say that you watch a bunch of different pet videos on Instagram or Facebook. Well, Facebook is gonna categorize you as probably being a pet owner. This is why targeting on this platform goes such a long way, because you're targeting people based off of things that they already are interested in. So let's go ahead and start adding in some interest groups. And please here, disclaimer, do not overthink this step. We do wanna choose interest groups that do make sense with the main product that we're selling, but you're never gonna know what's gonna work the best until the data tells you. So for example, let's go ahead and type in swimming pool, since it does make sense for a product like this. Now that we have this selected, let's go ahead and check out the audience size. And as you can see, it shows anywhere between 56 and 66 million, which is a perfect audience size. Our ideal range is like 5 million to 125 million. And to be honest with you, 50 million or more, that's that sweet spot. So now that we have validated that, and this is gonna be the interest that we select, let's go ahead and copy the interest name and then add it to the ad set name so everything stays organized. Now we are not gonna just stop here because one interest and one audience is not gonna determine our success. We have to tap in all types of different audiences to see who's going to convert the best. So let's go ahead and duplicate this ad set 4 more times, as we will be testing 5 different interest groups total inside of this campaign. And now that we have this duplicated, let's go into each one of these ad sets. And the only thing that we're gonna be changing is just swapping out the interest for one other interest that we wanna test. And quick disclaimer, you do not wanna stack these interests on top of each other. You do wanna make sure that they're separate so you do know which interest is driving the highest conversions. So here's a few more examples that we can go ahead and use. Something like golf, as this definitely has a relevant audience. We could try out outdoor activities, but again, you do wanna make sure you always check the size, because if it is below 5 million, do not use that audience. All right, so beaches would also be another good fit. Hiking, it shows an audience of around 26 to 30 million, which is solid, but a little bit on the lower end. We can even try hat, since it is product relevant and has around 35 to 42 million in size. And again, with each new ad set, rename the ad set title based off of the interest that you chose. This just makes it so much easier to track results later. So now that we have all 5 set up, let's go ahead and publish this campaign. Now, when you go back and review performance on the ad set level, everything is gonna be clearly labeled. You'll be able to track which interest group performed best. Maybe beaches has the lowest cost per click, golf has the highest click-through rate, and hiking trails got the most checkouts. Having this type of information is gonna be able to tell you where you need to double down on and what you need to cut that is just wasting your budget overall. So that's exactly how you structure a cold audience campaign, by taking your winning creative and then pairing it with interest groups that match your customer profile. This is the progression that you wanna see. A successful creative test leading to profitable cold audiences, which then leads to scaling campaigns that generate serious revenue. The key here is just being patient and to follow the data. Men lie, women lie, numbers never do. So do not rush to scale before your creative test shows clear winners or before your cold audience has clear audiences that are ready to be scaled. And there you have it. A full 7-day tutorial to starting, building, and scaling your own online business that's ready to consistently generate sales and profit. But here's where most people fail. You have the blueprint, but 95% still hit a wall within their first month. Your ads don't convert, you can't scale properly, or Facebook shuts down your entire account, and you have no clue how to fix it. You're at a fork in the road right now, and you have 2 options. With path 1, being spending the next 6 to 12 months watching YouTube tutorials, burning through your budget on trial and error, and eventually quitting like most people do. And then you have path 2, where you get direct access to someone who's already solved every problem that you'll face. Weekly group calls where I personally review your campaigns, and my complete playbook that generated over $10 million in student revenue. My mentorship students, they don't just build businesses. They build 6-figure businesses in under 90 days because they have the roadmap and the support to overcome every obstacle. And the next enrollment opens in days with limited spots. And every day that you wait, it's gonna be money left on the table. Your choice. Keep watching free content and making expensive mistakes, or take the shortcut that turns this into a predictable, profitable business. If you're serious, and path 2 is a path that you wanna take to streamline your success, then my one-on-one mentorship link is in the description. You can keep struggling on your own, or apply now with the limited spots that we have available. Now, like I always say to you all, you have to invest in people who are doing exactly what you want to do in this world. And if you're anything like me, as a visual learner, you want to see what it looks like for the 7-day dropshipping tutorial to be shown in real time. That's why you'll want to check out this video showcasing me breaking this down in real time, with a challenge of me trying dropshipping for 7 days from scratch, following this exact formula that I gave you today. I'm telling you, you will not want to miss out on this. I will see you there. This is AC with Supreme Ecom, and I'm out.